What is going on, my friends? A lot of you guys are unlocking Wat Tambor finally. Super exciting stuff. And in this video, I'm going to talk through some really awesome places you can use Wat that you may not have thought about. I am not convinced that Wat is a defensive character, actually. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to show both offensive and defensive options that I personally am not seeing all over the place. And so I hope this is news to some of you guys. In particular, there's a really awesome bugs counter that I'm pretty excited about. So we're going to talk all things Wat. What do you say? We're going to talk Wat. Oh my gosh, I just made a dad joke. I'm such a dad. I've got two girls, so I guess I'm entitled to make dad jokes. Right? And if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, time to get hyped because I am editing my next music video. I filmed it. I got the song ready. We've gone out and shot the music video. I'm just taking my time editing this thing. So stay tuned. That's going to be dropping this week sometime. I think you guys are really going to like it. All right, so the first team I want to show you is this team right here against bugs. Now, the way this is going to work, the first thing you're going to want to do is put the shield generator on Zalbar, and then you want to give the med pack to Vander Chewbacca, and then just hit auto and let the team take care of the rest by itself. Now, I'll talk a little bit about why this works. So Wat Tambor, of course, he's got those pieces of tech. The shield generator in particular is basically going to give Zalbar a permanent taunt. As long as he has protection, he's just going to continue to regain that taunt over and over and over and over again. And he's going to basically, every time he takes damage, he's going to increase his defense, going to increase. Zalbar is a big part of this too. Zalbar, you're going to want to give that health pack to. He's going to have reduced damage taken. Let's see, anytime he's buffed, he'll reduce 25% damage. And then combine that with Wat Tambor, what he's got going on. Obviously, he's going to distribute a lot of dots. His special ability will trigger those dots and the healing for your own team. And you can see here, it's a bit of a slow process, kind of similar to Traya, where it feels like you're just getting wrecked, but then the bugs are kind of eating themselves alive. That same kind of thing is happening, just in a different way. They're not eating themselves by the assisting necessarily. They're eating themselves by all of the dots they're taking, which is one of the best ways to handle this because the bugs just redistribute their health. And so Wat Tambor is going to basically attack them all at the same time and just get the hive down. It's just gonna, you can see here, they're right now in the battle, they're all kind of getting close to yellow. Now they're all in yellow, and boom, there's Brood Alpha, and it's going to start going pretty quick. This, to me, is extremely valuable on many fronts. First of all, it's very reliable. It appears, at least according to this footage. Secondly, I just really like the idea of taking Traya back. This is just me. And there we go. Now we've got the win. I personally don't like budgeting Traya for bugs. I don't like doing it. I would rather use Traya as a reliable counter to a Night Sister team or somewhere else. I've never loved saving her for that, but I feel like right now I have to save my Traya Sign and Nihilus for bugs. This opens you up a bit, and so great team composition, very reliable against the bugs. All right, next up, I'm going to show a defensive team, and this is a Qi'ra team with Han and Chewie and Wat Tambor. Now, what makes this so awesome is Wat Tambor, if you mod him right, he gets the guard, which this actually kind of favors those of you who have maybe under-geared Wats. He's going to take so many turns. He's going to trigger so much damage coming out of Han and Chewie, and then you really want to make sure that L3 gets that shield generator, which is going to basically give her that permanent taunt. The way that you can guarantee that is just make sure she's got the highest health and protection on the team. As you can see, it's not going to be hard at all for her to beat Han and Chewie and Qi'ra and Wat for the most protection. You see they're already eating through this team. I haven't even been able to finish all of my explanations here, and this is almost done. But L3 is also going to keep the team nice and healthy, cleansed, stack some armor on her, and you can see here the team, I just absolutely demolished. Now, this is just Traya against this team. There may be other counter options, but this here in particular works very, very well on defense. If I would have gone against this with Traya, I would have felt a lot more confident than I think this team and they deserve to feel in this battle, because it's absolute carnage. You see Scion's kind of hanging on, but Watt might get taken out, maybe, but that permanent taunt, you know, basically Watt just eating himself alive because of the Traya lead, and yeah, no competition. All right, so you failed once with your Traya team. Why don't you send in another OP team like Night Sisters? That'll work, right? I don't know. We'll see. So there you go. You got that permanent taunt over on L3, and we'll see how this pans out. It's going to be very, very challenging. And this is Gear 13. You can see it's pre-relics. We don't have the shiny gear here, which, by the way, special thanks to my friend NVR24 who did send me this footage. Just an excellent theory crafter in this game. And this is his favorite defensive team. And I've actually placed this defensive team on my Grand Arenas. I've had some success with it. I'm pretty happy with it, even with a pretty squishy Watt Tambor. That said, I'm still not convinced that this is going to be the best option for defense. I really like the offensive teams, personally. But if you're going to go defense, this might be one of the best. Now, there is a note here that it's not necessarily going to be best or ideal to use Watt with General Grievous on defense. Some people have been doing that, but a big reason why it might not be the best option with General Grievous, if you're considering that, is his first move is usually to give the med pack to B1, which is worthless. The med pack doesn't do anything. So you guys know how the AI tends to operate. Watt will tend to lead off with a shield generator on whoever the tankiest tank is. So that's why with L3 here, you want to have, you know, as tanky as possible in L3, so that you guarantee that she gets that shield generator, which she did in both of these battles. Which, by the way, this Night Sister team impressively is almost burnt through L3. Actually did burn through L3. We'll see if they're able to pull it out. The next move, Watt tends to give the med pack to the lowest combined health and protection support. And then the last, he gives the biotech weapon mod to whoever the highest attacker is with the most physical damage. So just to be aware of how that AI tends to operate. And there we go. Another defeat. So great defensive team option there for Watt to keep in mind. All right, now the final team I want to show you is Newt lead with Embo, Watt, Stormtrooper Han, and Count Dooku. Now I'm showing this team might, if you haven't seen this team before, you may not appreciate how disgusting this team is, but this is one of the best timeout teams in the game. And you can see here, I'll just explain a little bit about why this is working and what makes this so OP. Stormtrooper Han, giving the shield generator Stormtrooper Han is super OP because it's going to make Stormtrooper Han basically permataunt. And if you remember, it's been a while since a lot of you have used Stormtrooper Han. Whenever anybody attacks Stormtrooper Han, he's going to give the whole team turn meter. And so it's going to speed up the team. You can see he did give the weapon mod over to Embo for obvious reasons. Lots of DPS on Embo. A quick note, the way that he plays this, and I actually, this is NVR again here. I actually asked him, like, why aren't you throwing your hat? You know, don't you want to lay a big hit early? And that's actually strategic, intentional, to not lose the protection right out the gate. You want to get the full 60 banners if possible, and so he does wait to use it. He does end up using it a little bit later in the battle, and so you get lots of turn meter on this team. And you can see this is a long, drawn out battle here. It goes almost the full time, if I remember right, but it's really excellent to come out of this and get the full 60 banners. If anybody has ran into this team, I'm just tell me. So there we go. There we got the hat throw. If anybody has been through the pain of attacking a solid Clone Wars Chewie with Vandor and, you know, L3, if you've seen this team, you know how valuable this is. And what's really nice is this is not really carving up any team here, right? You know, maybe you're using Newt somewhere else or Count Dooku, but I mean, this still leaves you open to have your full Darth Revan team. It still leaves you open to have your full Bounty Hunter team. Embo is essential to a Bounty Hunter team. Might be nice to have Embo in there, but there's other options that are still pretty dang effective. You know, You don't really necessarily have to have Count Dooku in like a Traya team or anything like that. You can say, so you're not carving up any team. Maybe the main team you may be carving up a bit is if you've been using Newt with General Grievous, but that's not even essential. So it leaves you open in a lot of ways, and it's just obviously very reliable. You can see here that he took a screenshot there because he was so excited, but you could just see that the team's super healthy, it's reliable damage-wise, and they're going to be able to get the full 60 banners here. And again, he does hold on to the hat there, so to keep the banners. If you're doing this in Territory War, if you run in this team in Territory War, which I've only ever seen this team in Grand Arena, but if you do run into it in Territory Wars, maybe less of a big deal to throw the hat at the end, because obviously you don't need the protection, and it might be a good knockout punch, but you can see here they're handling it just fine without. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about Wat Tambor. Who just unlocked Wat Tambor? Definitely let me know down in the chat below. If you have unlocked him, let me know. And how are you planning on using him? For those of you who have had Wat, how are you using him? What are your favorite places to use him? These are some options that I found that I think are particularly awesome, that are effective. I actually think I prefer him on offense, so that you can kind of really control where the shield generator is going, where the weapon mod's going, where the health pack is going, etc. So let me know again what you guys think down in the comments below, and as always,